Ding dong, the witch is dead, the wicked witch. Oh yes! He's finally been exiled. Off-world.
Off-world, people never say that.
In his last video, you would have thought, hey, he'll do a nice goodbye to everyone, but no. He just hates everyone, so he just has to get his last jab in there. It's like someone trying to get the last laugh in a really childish and embarrassing way. That it really does say a lot about his career that he would end it in such a childish and embarrassing way. So, hi guys, it's me. I don't know if you remember, I'm Physic. Do you remember that YouTuber, the guy with all the hats and all the... It's me. That's the one. It's me. I'm back. How you doing, guys? Hope you're all good. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, please do leave it a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. We're gonna be going back to the old school, back to my roots. And the kind of content I'm going to be creating from now on, I'll be doing these videos. They used to be called weekly window videos. Essentially, it's just me talking about various recent things. So that's what we'll be doing today. But I'm also going to be bringing back some of my gaming videos. It's not going to be like they used to be. They'll be more in a style of indie mouse, pyrocynical, that's what it. So it'll be highly edited, a lot of fun, cutting out all of the boring stuff, and it'll be a laugh. Be playing bad games, good games, horror games, all sorts. As well as that, I'm going to be looking into far more things like goop, ridiculous, more interesting topics. I'll also be looking at terrible films and good films as well. So that's me. I'm back. It's 2021. Let's actually do this thing and get my channel back to where it was. Onision, it's over, man. It's over, finally over. His last video came out recently, and as I was saying, he just couldn't go quietly into the night. He just had to have his last laugh. So we're gonna be having a little look.
You're done, and then you'll be left with nothing.
Shortly after the police showed up, because I had called the police on her, and they physically escorted her out of my house.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this again. Shiloh had extremely bad mental health problems, which you chose to ignore. Either you're very stupid and you have no concept of, like, emotions, which is not surprising at all, but you can't, like, call the police on your girlfriend who's going through emotional trouble. Sorry, what will that do? Are you gonna get her arrested? What do the police aren't therapists, you know? That all that's gonna do is massively exacerbate. You have to realize this. How stupid do you, like, how do you expect things not to go wrong when you act in such a selfish and moronic way? It's quite incredible.
She said I'd be left with nothing after she's done ruining my life.
Threaten your career, boo-hoo. Shut up. Get on with it.
And of course the reason the police took her away is because she threatened to take her own life because I broke up with her.
I'm so tired of his content, just moaning about everything. I know that's his entire career for the last, like, few years has been responding to people's outrage. For a start, that's a sign to say, oh, it's time to move on now. You've been ripped to shreds. Your career actually is in tatters and you have been left with nothing, so...
And she specifically stated that she was going to make it look like I did it.
Yeah, get a grip, mate. That's not going to happen. She's not actually going to kill herself and blame it on you, alright? Like, it just shows your lack of understanding. If you really thought she was going to do that, you can't have known her very well as a person at all. She was erratic, yes. She did things that you probably didn't like, yes. But she was going through so much emotional trauma, and you made it much worse.
A page with tons of content that proves my innocence and proves why I left her in the first place. But to the internet, none of these facts matter.
That isn't true. That isn't true on any level. We always have problems with stuff that you absolutely have definitely 100% done. You always skirt around it though. You say, oh, I didn't do this and this, which means I didn't do any of it. Haha, case closed.
Case closed, Jake open.
Wow.
I know, I said yours was better.
I don't care anymore. Can you shut up? This is your last video and you're just moaning at the world.
Can I just say that getting angry actually isn't going to help anything. I've done anger. I'm currently at grief. I'm working my way towards bargaining, whatever, you know, you're behind me.
But again, none of these facts matter. None of her admissions of what she did wrong matters. The only thing that matters is that people do not like me, and that is internet justice. Guilty until proven guilty.
It's amazing. You're still saying this sort of stuff as if you've done nothing wrong. You're incapable of taking responsibility for your actions because you're probably, in a lot of ways, a sociopath. You just cannot see what you've done as wrong. With the whole Sarah situation, you were a horrible person to her until she was of the right age when you decided to sleep with her. Just shut up. I don't care if she was angry at you or, whatever. It doesn't matter. You ignore the things you actually have done and are clearly wrong. You admitted to bullying her, so stop it.
You guys are no doubt familiar with Johnny Depp being accused of things that he didn't do. You got Ellen DeGeneres accused of numerous things. For a time, it appeared her show might shut down. My point is that
these guys were blamed for things they didn't do, therefore I am being blamed for things I didn't do. Let's bring up loads of random crimes that have no relevance to me, where people have been proven guilty when they're actually innocent, and that somehow, in my head, makes me innocent. Bish bash bosh, job done. Job done, son.
So here's an email from YouTube essentially telling me that I can no longer make money on YouTube.
Oh, no.
So Onision was finally given a notice that all of his monetization would be taken away, and his cancel will be left in his channel. Council? His channel will be left in tatters. Yeah, no crap. What? Do you actually believe that you could have gone anywhere? If this hadn't happened, would you have continued making videos? And if so, why? You weren't really making any money at that point, and everyone despises every last bit of content you make. You actually don't really have any fans anymore. For a while, you had a small amount, but now, nothing. So that's it. Onision is done. Finally, 100% gone. Game over. So, good riddance. And this is probably going to be my last Onision video, unless he does any stuff in the future, but I don't want to do any content on him. I did want to get this video out with a few of the more popular subjects, though, to sort of kickstart my new content. Next up, we have James Charles. James Charles? It's been a while. I can't talk anymore, so we'll have to just ignore that. James Charles. YouTube makeup artist James Charles has responded to reports that he allegedly groomed a 16-year-old fan. On Friday, February 26th, Charles posted a note on Twitter acknowledging that he felt the need to address a video circulating on social media which featured a fan accusing James Charles of alleged grooming behaviour. So apparently this has happened a few times recently. I'm not, massively familiar with what's been going on with him, but it seems he's been up to some no good stuff. He called the accusations completely false. Last week I came across someone on Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me and added him on Snapchat. He alleged that the following morning he woke up to several snaps from the person, who reportedly expressed excitement for the YouTuber's work. Charles also claimed that the person sent him lewd photographs of himself in the shower. Apparently he asked the fan how old he was, to which they replied they were 18. Yeah, these are very typical sort of responses you would imagine from someone talking about this sort of thing. So James Charles gave out some very cookie-cutter basic responses saying that he didn't know the person's age, they sent pictures first, he asked him for his age before anything happened, but according to this kid, this is not what happened, as we can see in this clip here.
So after sending me that first picture of his body, explicitly, he sent me multiple after that, and I'll post them now. I was getting really uncomfortable, so I told him my age. I told him I'm 16. Meanwhile, he's 21. He's a grown man. And then he proceeds to say, oh, but I didn't even get to see meaning my body. It's sad to say that I can't even look up my biggest influence the same again. I've heard multiple stories about him doing this to people, but you never believe it until it happens to you.
So apparently this sort of thing has been going around with James Charles. He needs to be very careful, one, because this is a disgusting thing to do. For example, what Isaiah said here, his relationship with this content creator has essentially been ruined. The whole thing of don't meet your heroes, it's been entirely screwed up by his, selfish behavior. And I think when when content creators start getting really, really big, you notice they start to show their more corrupt and dark sides. That's happened with just about any large content creator I can think of. So James Charles says he suggested that he had an ulterior motive by filming the interactions on another device, and that when he was suspicious of his intentions, asked for his age again and found out he was 16. He claims that he removed him as a friend shortly after and promises in future to ask for ID. Isaiah responded to James' statement with a different version of events. He says that he never asked for his age, and when it was revealed, he was only 16. The influencer said it didn't matter and still requested explicit images. This is bad. You can't do things like this, and you can't expect to just do things like this and not get, caught or found out or anything. We have a comment here from James Charles. There's a video going around about me on TikTok and a Twitter of a guy calling me a groomer, and I want to address it right away. I wouldn't really call this grooming. That's not so much what that is. Grooming is a long, drawn-out process of getting a young kid ready for explicit conduct when they come of age. More similar to what Onision did with Sarah, although that's a bit iffy as to whether that was grooming. Anyway, and I want to address it right away. The accusation that I've groomed this person is completely false. Last week, I came across someone on my Instagram Explore page, saw he followed me, and added him on Snapchat. Now, this is a sneaky way James Charles could get around this. This is why I hate it when people will use a term like groomer, because Onision did the same thing. All he did was focus on that term and explained his way around it. And that can easily happen. So don't call it something that it's not, because all they will do is focus on that to get out of what they've done. What James Charles definitely has done is harassed a child in an explicit way, in a horrible way. I'm being so careful of what words to use. I would be way better at explaining stuff if I wouldn't get demonetized for doing that. Next morning, I woke up to Snevril. Oh my god, what is happening to me? Snevril. Several snaps from this person being excited. I added him back, saying he loved me, and also lewd photos of himself in the shower. Saying that he loved him, that just sounds like a flat out lie without me knowing anything about it. I asked him how old he was right away. Right away? Well, if it was right away, he would have done it right away, not the next day. Told me he was 18, so I started flirting back. In the excitement of meeting someone I thought could be potentially great, I didn't ask for a copy of his ID or passport. It's now clear, based on the video he uploaded, he was taking photos of me with another device, and he had an ulterior motive from the beginning. Well, yeah, he claimed that he was feeling incredibly uncomfortable with this slew of images. You can't just... If this is a kid that clearly doesn't want to let you get away with this, then you can't lie like this, because he'll just flat out explain how that's not true, Later in the day, he said a few things that made me question the validity of his original age answer, and when I asked him to confirm his age once again, he admitted he was 16. I told him I was really uncomfortable and apologised for flirting, but he insisted on continuing talking. This sounds like the complete opposite of what he said, like literally. Isaiah says, James, we both know I blocked you. You never asked for my age. After I told you I was 16, you proceeded to ask me for thingies and said it didn't matter. You called me hot and said I wish the timeline could speed up so that you could be 18. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? You can't just skirt around this. You knew that he was taking pictures of your conversation from a different device. How did you think you could possibly get away with this? I don't understand. I don't like when people do this. It's a horrible thing to do. You're essentially harassing one of your fans and then outright calling them a liar online, making them seem like the problem. Because James Charles just flipped everything. He said he was the uncomfortable one. He was the one that, was lied to. So ridiculous. Such a cheap shot at one of your apparent fans. It's ridiculous. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for any more discrepancies. No, that's not the right word. For any more booky behaviour. Anyway, this is my first little pish posh quick little video. I hope you have enjoyed. I'm very happy to be back. I'm being helped by a new antidepressant I'm on. Seems to be going better than any other experiences I've had with antidepressant. It's sertraline. I think it's... what is it called? It's got a funny name in America. Can't remember. Anyway, so I'm feeling good about things. For my Patreon fans out there, thank you so much for your continued support. I've got 2 new videos coming onto Patreon soon, so yeah, just hang on in there, guys, and we'll be back up and running. I've had a few messages from fans and stuff. I know I've been so distant from any kind of communication with anyone. I've just been going through a lot of horrible stuff at the minute, but once I start easing back into it, I'll feel a bit more comfortable talking to people. And for those of you that are just thinking that I've gone and I'm never coming back, that is not true. So hang on in there, we'll get back to normal soon. Also, got a gaming video coming up soon. Very good game. I won't tell you what it is. Be excited. Thank you so much, guys. If you enjoyed, please do leave it a like and subscribe if you want to help support me and my channel. Many blessings. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.